Let's say you are working on multiple projects and you don't want to pull the code to each time in your server. So what is the solution then? The solution is CICD, which is continuous integration and continuous deployment. So basically, it is a technique that can be used to increase your efficiency by just pushing the code to your GitHub branch and your code will be deployed automatically. So let me show you the demo of it using GitHub Actions. So currently I have an application which is built using Laravel and Vue.js. And this is the login page of that site. Let me just go to the VS Code and let me just check out everything from here using git checkout. Let me just write some more text over here, like want to sign up. So now the text is changed. Let me check the status of git and I can add this file now. So git add the full path and paste it. Now I will write the commit, git commit -m and commit. Let's push the code now to the staging branch, git push origin staging. And now the code is pushed. So let me just show you the login page and our deployment is right now running. So let me just duplicate this tab. I will open this in new tab because currently it's the master branch and now this is the staging branch and you can see this is the deployment that is currently running. So if I show you the login page now, if I reload the page, I can see that text changes are now coming. So let me just remove this text again and let me just add this file, add a new commit for removing the file, and let me push the code again to the staging branch. Now let's go back to the browser and this is the output of our old build. Now as you can see the latest commit for removing the word, click on this brown icon and you can see the latest build output now. The build is currently running and you can see the code is being deployed right now automatically. So let me just reload this page and you can see the text is gone now. So let me show you how you can set up this particular pipeline for your project. So let's discuss a couple of prerequisites that are required. So the first thing is you should have the dedicated server with SSH access. So for that you can use Cloudways, Hostinger, AWS, whatever you want. So the second thing is Laravel GitHub repo that should be set up, so which can be used to set up the host, key, port and user. So these credentials you can get from the dashboard of your particular hosting provider. So let's go back to the GitHub repository and just click on settings and just scroll down, click on secrets and variables, click on actions now, and here you can add the key value pair of your credentials like SSH host, key, user and port. So just fill these all details to start. So now after setting up these credentials, the next step is to create the workflow file. So for creating that, you can just go to the Actions tab in the above section. So just click on it. And now you can see the option of new workflow. Click on that button. After that, you can see a couple of workflow files. So if you are working with Laravel, you can click on Laravel configure option. So click on configure button for this particular Laravel card. Click on it. And this is the YML file for Laravel. So now you can just commit this file in your code and push it to the GitHub. Let's go back to the VS Code and I will explain the content of this particular file. So now there are two things. First, if you are starting the project from scratch, you can use the GitHub workflow file with some modification like setting the PHP version, project path, etc. But if you already have a GitHub repo set up for your Laravel app and you want to implement CI/CD in that, you will need to make some changes to integrate it properly. So here the name will be the name of your workflow file. It can be anything that you want to name. Then we have two trigger conditions here. First one is push and second one is pull. So in the branches section of push, we have defined staging as a branch, which means our workflow file will be run when someone pushes the code to the staging. Similarly, for the pull request also we have defined staging as a branch. So whenever the code is pushed to the staging branch, our server will take the pull of this particular branch, which is defined under the pull request section. Then we have the job section, in which we have defined the name of our job, which is Laravel Vue build, and it will run on the Ubuntu latest. So we have defined run zone as Ubuntu latest. So the next step is checking out the repository. So it will clone the code from our repository into the runner, and runner can be considered as a virtual machine, you can say that. Then we have defined the second step, which is to deploy to server via SSH, and the name can be anything, you can name it accordingly. I have named it as deploying code to server. And then we have US section for this, and it is using Appleboy SSH action. So it's one of the most popular GitHub action. You can find it over the internet easily and use it in your project. And in the last step, we have defined the scripts and the credentials that we have set on the GitHub secrets. So we are going to use them here. And then we have defined the scripts like cd path to your project, then couple of commands which is related to git, like git checkout dot git pull origin staging. And then we have couple of commands which are needed for Laravel, like php arts and migrate hyphen force. So hyphen force can be used if you are if your application is running in production and you are asking the user to type yes or no. Then we have a couple of commands related to npm and nvm, like exporting the nvm to a specific directory using the specific version of npm, and running the build using npm run build, and clearing the cache using php artisan optimize clear. And you can define many more commands in this section. So this is how you can set up the script and the Laravel CI/CD pipeline with Vue.js project. So if you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section. I will be there to help. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye and take care.